Hello there, welcome back to the Closet Historian. Here is the finished hair refresh here. I just got a little bit of a makeover, a mini makeover at my friend's house on Saturday. I spent most of the day getting my hair darkened up a little bit, trim on the bangs, trim on the bob, a little bit of a cheeky undercut in the back that you can't see right now, but you know, nothing like a new year, new you mini makeover, am I right? But today I just have another Side Husselen update for you all. Last episode of this series I sort of reviewed 2018 and talked about where I left off each of my various side hustles and what my sort of experience of 2018 was and some things that I learned and some things that I still need to work on and still need to learn in this next year. I did make a little bit of progress with that kind of stuff last year, my perfectionism and holding myself to oddly impossible standards. I made some progress with that last year, but of course there is always room to grow when you just need to stop beating yourself up so much. But today we're going to be looking forward instead and looking at my goals for each of my side hustles and my goals in general for growing my brand and the Closet Historian in 2019 for this next year. So let's jump right in. All right, as far as goals for my Closet Historian blog, I don't really have many other than to just keep using the blog, just probably only once a week or so, maybe once or twice a week. Not really any particular scheduled things going on with the blog. Basically, much more looser, freer mindset when it comes to blogging in the next year. I'm just going to keep it up more as a diary almost and keep it going because it has been a long-running project more than because it has a future. But I'm going to keep the blog going, just probably turning down my effort for the blog a little bit, even more than I did last year, or just turning down my expectations for the blog at least. When it comes to sewing / making my own sewing patterns, hopefully, my goal for this next year, for 2019, is to launch 2 sewing patterns for sale on my Etsy shop. I've been wanting to do my own pattern range, or like to at least make my patterns that I use all the time available, size them and make them available for people who are interested for a really long time now, and I really would like to set more concrete goals in place in this area. So I would like to launch 2 sewing patterns. That's my goal for the year. If I mean, I hope to do more than that, but that's my minimum goal for the year. I also hope to write a manual / pattern drafting guide for the basic pattern drafting modifications that I use all the time for creating vintage style reproduction garments to also have available on Etsy. So I will have kind of basic patterns and then a booklet that you could get showing you how to change those patterns and modify them for different styles. Obviously mostly vintage inspired styles, but that's my goal for that for this year. And then my goal for that Etsy project, or for this entire project in general, would be to be by the end of the year selling at least 4 or 5 products every week. So hopefully earning a little bit of income from that. Not much, of course, at only that rate, but I don't assume many people are clamoring for my vintage reproduction patterns, but hopefully I would be able to share those with people who have been asking for them for a long time and who are interested in those. As for YouTube, by the numbers, my subscriber goal for 2019 is going to be 50,000 subscribers. So if you like it here, do tell your friends. I know that does seem like quite a leap from where I'm at right now, because I am around almost 9,000 subscribers, and my goal for this past year, for 2018, was to get to 10,000 subscribers, and we were able to get close. So I'm hoping that, I don't really know if the math checks out, but I'm hoping to get to around 50,000 subscribers by this time next year. Of course, on YouTube, because the way the algorithm works, the more subscribers and views you have, the more YouTube's algorithm and stuff like that will push your channel. So hopefully that will mean that I'm able to hit that goal next year. We'll see how it goes. I try and not beat myself up about the numbers, of course, but if I want to make this a viable job for myself, I do have to look at them. So there's that. I would like to post 2 videos a week on average this year as well. And I do want to turn on monetization this year. I put a lot of time into YouTube now, and I've used to put a lot of time into my blog for years without ever seeing any return in the way of money. And honestly, I want this to be my job, or at least a part-time job, since I spend many hours on it, so it would be nice to have some income from this job of mine. So also, I'd like to apologize now here in advance for turning on ads soon. I know it sucks, and personally, I do use YouTube Red / YouTube Premium, so I don't ever have to see ads, but I can still support all the creators I love and watch, which I totally understand is not really an option for everyone. I also support some of my favorite creators on Patreon too, so I feel like I'm kind of used to paying for a bit of money to support my YouTube habit now. So I'm kind of used to it, and when Google added that option to turn ads off, basically by paying $10 a month, I was like, yes, I am on board with that. I've never used ad block or anything like that. I I don't know, seems shady to me, and I wasn't going to do it. But I do not have ads on YouTube because of having that premium subscription. So if you've never looked into that and you hate advertising, it might be worth it for you if you watch a lot of YouTube like I do. Other YouTube goals involve investing in some new equipment this year. My wish list currently is, at the top of my wish list, I should say, is an LED dimmable ring light, especially if I'm going to do some beauty videos this year. And then, of course, I do want to upgrade my camera. Right now I'm shooting on a Nikon 5200, I believe this is what this camera is called, and I would like to switch over to a Canon 70D or 80D with that special autofocus that so many YouTubers, use, and for good reason. But overall, basically, I want to grow my YouTube channel into a legitimate part-time job for me with the little bit of money to match, because I love talking about and learning about sewing and vintage fashion and vintage style, and I would love to make this my job, or at least a part-time job for me, because I do work a part-time day job, and if I could make YouTube into a viable other part-time job, maybe with the 2 part-time jobs, I could maybe someday have that ultimate goal there of, actual financial independence. We'll see. It's a bit lofty, I know. As far as writing goals for the year, my writing goals are to find a literary agent this year, to sign with a literary agent. That is the main goal and the next step for me in my writing career and this part of my side hustle. As much as I say I want YouTube to be my job, I want to be an author foremost of all. I would like to be an author and a YouTuber, but that is a job these days. Usually people do YouTube first and then add on the book thing, which if that worked out, that would be fine too. I don't really care which order these things happen, and I just would like for them to happen. I only choose dreamy, unrealistic careers, As for goals concerning writing itself, I don't want to set any really, as far as word count or amount of chapters or books or things like that written. I don't want to set a numerical goal in that sense. I want to keep it really open. If I've learned anything, it is to let writing remain an organic process for me. So I just want to keep writing itself and not set myself any specific goals in this regard. So those are my goals for this next year, for 2019, for my side hustles and my business and my brand of the Closet Historian, for myself and my brand, which are the same in some ways, and neither make any money right now, which is a shame. But those are my professional goals for the next year, is to actually turn this into my profession, hopefully. Keep trying. Here's hoping. Of course, I do have some personal goals for 2019 as well, but they tend to be pretty usual, start eating a bit healthier, stop eating so much sugar, try and be a little more active. I even would love to get to the point where I'm strong enough to maybe do to start doing some sort of martial art. That would be really cool. I'm extremely weak and I hate working out, so something more fun would maybe help me want to actually get active. So thinking about different classes and sort of activities I could do instead of just working out, because I don't like going to the gym. But I'm thinking about hopefully getting more active in this next year. I also kind of want to take walks outside sometimes, obviously not when it's really cold or snowing or anything like that, but I think it would be good if I once a month tried to go outside for a little bit. I'm not positive that's really something I will enjoy, but it seems like something maybe worth trying. I am a creature of the internet. I live indoors at all times. I get more light from these lights inside here from YouTube than I do from the sun, so it could be a good idea to get a little bit of vitamin D. Some other more personal goals would be to get maybe another tattoo, or 2 or 3 this year if I can afford it. I would really like to invest in some more ink this year. I did get a tattoo last year, which was something I really was happy I did in 2018, and I would like to get my next tattoo in 2019 at least. But I do have trouble saving up for these things, so we'll see how I do on that. I would also like to go on a road trip, even just a mini one, not necessarily a long road trip, but even a couple of days, or just even a nice long day trip. I do love driving in the mountains, and here in Colorado you can just drive out to a small mountain town for the day or something like that, so definitely something I want to try and do this year. I'd love to go to the Grand Canyon, but I don't think my car actually can handle it. It's kind of an older car, so my family don't trust my car to take me to the Grand Canyon and back, but hopefully maybe someone else wants to go to the Grand Canyon and I can tag along. We'll see. I just lived in the western half of the United States my whole life and have never seen it, so I'd really like to go out to the Grand Canyon. We'll see. That's been on my list for a couple of years now, and I've never quite made it out there, but maybe 2019 is the year. And then the last personal goal I have this year is to try therapy for the first time. I've never gone to therapy before, but I just think that due to a couple of things that I've been thinking about over the last year or so, I really think that therapy could be beneficial for me and almost like a preventative measure for me, especially dealing with some of the perfectionism. I can't even say the word perfectionism perfectly. things that I was talking about in my last video. So I think sometimes I wouldn't mind having a professional tell me to be nicer to myself as well. So I'm thinking about starting or looking into therapy this year, and that's something that feels a little bit risky to me just because it's something I've never done before, and new things are always a little bit scary. But I think I would really like to challenge myself to do that this year. So that's my last kind of personal goal for 2019. Also, I just want to thank you guys again for watching this series. It really is more of a sort of diary thing for me. So I really do make Side Husselen almost more to log my journey for myself, but it's really nice that you guys can come along for this ride. And thank you again for helping me in my side hustles by being here, by subscribing, by watching, by sharing my videos sometimes. Thank you guys so much. For any of you who have actually shared a video, like that's like so above and beyond. Thank you so much. And thank you as always for leaving comments and encouraging me to keep going. It really does help keep me motivated. So thank you guys a bunch, and I will see you again real soon here on the channel. Bye. Oh, I was going to show you the back of my hair. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh my goodness. What has she done? What has she done, you guys? You know, I don't know how that happened.